Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Underground Dugout is back live right here at Fellow Empire Radio. Yes. And right next to me, unmistakable legend.
Yes.
Mr. Joeski Love.
Yes, indeed. Give it up, give it up.
Give it up.
Where's our laugh track, man? You slipping, Slim.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's definitely a pleasure, man. Definitely a pleasure to have you here, man. You've been an important part of the culture. You know, I have to sit here and think about it because you have one of those songs. You ever know the way music is, where you can kind of look back over your life and you know exactly what you were doing the first time you heard particular songs, and whenever you hear them, they kind of bring you back.
Yeah.
You have one of those songs that always stood out in my life where when you came out, it's like I can remember like almost where I was. I know I was relatively young. I know we ain't too far off in age.
46.
Oh yeah, I'm a little older than you then. So, but I think you started your career pretty young. How old were you when that record came out? When that album came out?
I was 17 when the song came out.
Wow.
I was senior in high school.
Wow. Yeah. So that means that must have been like 20.
Raise your mic. Not coming across clear.
There we go.
And I remember like that song just having like just taking over the radio waves at the time, and having like a powerful impact to the point where, okay, I gotta admit, I got a confession to make. I was hating at the time because I was you know, I was an artist at the time, so I was hating at the time. And shit.
I don't know how you got Ice-T in the video.
That's what I wanted.
The director hooked that up. That was the first time I met Ice.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, Elektra being the parent company, the label that I was on, we did the video shoot in LA at the Warner Brothers Studios, and I believe the director had something to do with Breaking.
The movie
Breaking, and Ice-T was in it, so I guess he invited Ice.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And we met, and so we've been close friends ever since. Ice is a funny guy.
He's so humble, man, so down to earth. I love him, man. Yeah, simply for that, because how big he is. As a matter of fact, what you was just saying about Flash, like some artists, some stars, celebrities have that kind of persona, attitude with Ice, and a lot of other celebrities.
You know what, though? Even
you don't see that.
A lot of these guys, you know, it might seem that way, but once you get to know them, they're not. I mean, people, I guess, when you're quote unquote celebrity, have preconceptions of you. So sometimes that's in their own imaginations. But once you introduce yourself, whatever, most of the people are pretty nice. Brothers are very laid back. I mean, don't get me wrong, you do have prima donnas.
Yeah, you have your few, man. They're not gonna talk to you. You see them, you be like, yo, how you doing? I'm a fan or whatever. They'll just kind of
exactly, just like that.
Like really won't engage you.
But you gotta realize, I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. You have to realize that these guys are people too, and females as well. You know. We all have bad days. You could have an argument with your wife. Your kid might be messing up in school that day. On the woman's side, she might be PMSing. So it's like, we're human beings also. You might just ran into that person on a bad day.
That's true. And you don't know what just happened in their lives.
You're right. So sometimes, fans have to understand, we're not gods as perceived. You're a human being, you have your own faults too. So it's like,
that's true. Like somebody like you remember you one of the earliest, like you got to experience like what it meant to be a quote unquote rap star. Like before, there was no real definition to it. So I'm sure you kind of was like blazing new trails, man.
Well, yeah. And like I said, I was 17, so I don't. I think that's too much power for a 17.
I was just telling my son they got this new kid out, Chief Keef, 17 years old, $6 million deal.
See, that's ridiculous.
Completely out of control.
That's why he's on house arrest.
He's locked up. He got locked up again.
That's too much.
Just, he's a train wreck. But people love that nowadays in the industry.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they want to follow somebody self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? My son, same thing with this kid, Chief Keef, 17 years old, right? Fuck wow, right?
Man, if you gave me $6 million at 17.
But when you look at
really,
the music
he'd be on the show right now. They're like, man, when the next show we got coming? Train wrecks and everything.
I know. it's funny because you look at them now, the lifestyle is wild, but Jimmy Iovine signed him, by the way, who, that's his niche, that's his market, NWA, look at the groups he signed, they fit that realm. But you look at NWA,
but even them
also, look at them now, they're mature, successful, responsible.
But even them, with the exception of that incident with Dre and that
with D.
Yeah. What did you hear about NWA?
Nothing really. Yeah, nothing. Wow.
Ice Cube came from a two-parent home, and he didn't even live in Compton.
Wow.
He was at private
South
school.
Central.
Out here.
Yeah.
South Central. So it's like,
wow.
I believe it's no It's like people always say, well, rap. When they say rap is violent and blah, and rappers, I've had this conversation with them. Well, they don't say nothing to Arnold Schwarzenegger when he shoots up cops. Right. I said because when they say cut, he doesn't portray that image anymore. It's like you guys are still trying. You take it home. Like God bless Tupac. Nobody told him cut on Juice. He didn't hit a cut. He was still Bishop.
Oh, yeah.
It's like actors don't do that. Denzel, I'm a dope deal. What's the movie?
Flight was off.
Training
Day, an American Gangster.
American Gangster, yes.
But he didn't walk off the set saying, "Okay, I'm going to Hong Kong to buy 80 keys of coke." As
Denzel, cadavers,
that was his job. And I think if more rappers did that and portrayed themselves and let people know, look, I'm entertaining.
Right. Yes.
I might have come from this, but I'm not this anymore. Because there's no goddamn way in hell Rick Ross is selling keys and shooting people.
No way.
Can I shake your hand on that?
And it's not a knock on him because I love his music.
Yeah.
But I'm an adult. I know the difference between reality and fantasy.
Brother, I love brother of knowledge.
What's the name? Just the other day, on VH1, one of the other stations that VH1 has, it was Soul Story. And they just started going through hip-hop classics. Started off with Teenage Love, Slick Rick, him, Dougie, and who else?
You had to have Rob Bass.
Yeah, Rob Bass. It takes two came right on after that.
Nowhere.
That's what I heard.
Monster, man.
Everywhere you go to club,
it's not going nowhere.
Running through the stage.
I walked to the kitchen and I heard right about now. I said,
As big as Pee Wee was, I'm jealous of Rob.
You're jealous of Rob, right?
It's like, damn.
And it's going nowhere. It's like nowhere. 50 years from now, they'll still be rocking that joint.
That's
classic.
And that makes a good song. A good, that's songwriters. That's where it goes.
I think if I had to trade places with any two other dudes that I get you quote unquote one hit wonders, it'd be Rob or Doug. The show is
He's going to tour for that forever, man.
My son knew the words to the show before he knew the words to my song.
Wow.
Yeah, he was watching Doug on some TV show. He might have been 16 at the time. Doug was performing. My son, I was like, you know the words to this?
Wow.
How do you know the words to this? You know, like, I don't know. You don't know my song, boy? You don't know all the words to Pee Wee? He's like, no.
I said, that song got you this room, boy.
Right. What do you think about the what is it? The faculty, the alumni.
Oh, you know what? They I was supposed to be in it, but they didn't think I was interested. I guess because of my nonchalant. I'm real nonchalant.
You're real nonchalant, right?
Like
yo, whatever, man. Because you can see Chubb like, yo, come on, Joe, you want to get in this thing? Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it.
We're all real close friends. Chubbs and Dana's probably like. There's maybe like 5 people in rap that I consider friends.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm cool with everybody, but there's only a few that might have my home phone number. Everybody else got the cell.
I know what you mean.
And Chubbs and Dana is 2 of the 5.
Wow. That's great. Wow.
Me and Kwame, that's like my little brother. We worked together.
He's a pretty unique character, man.
Kwame is crazy as hell.
Matter of fact, him too. They played him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kwame is a real talented.
He's like a real genius, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he plays like how many instruments and.
He's a big fan of Prince, me too.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're both huge fans of Prince. Matter of fact, we were just Facebooking each other because he put something from Purple Rain on Facebook about the club, the First Avenue, and I played there twice.
Oh wow!
So I was like, yo, Kwame, I played there. He's like, get out of here. I wish.
That's a sharp dude, man. His style is still the same.
Wow.
He still looks the same, too.
Yeah?
Look like he never aged.
Like he never aged, man.
Incredible.
What's up with that, man?
The Dougie Fresh.
Hanging out with Dougie Fresh, that same oxygen chamber or something.
I know, right?
Well, Doug has been a vegetarian since I've known him.
Yeah?
You
Wow.
don't eat, you don't drink, you don't smoke,
Yeah,
you don't do none of
that shit. And he did the purification rundown at the Scientology org, and he did.
I had signed to Columbia Records. I was the first rapper ever signed directly to Columbia because they had Def Jam.
Right.
Yeah.
And I signed without a demo. Like I got signed word of mouth. What happens was
I ain't happy.
I was
that shit no more,
I ain't happy these days.
I was about to sign a Def Jam. I had a few meetings, and we were going to make a deal. And one day, I got the initial meeting through Hank Shockley, who was the brains behind Public Enemy, one of the brains.
Yeah.
So one day, as I'm leaving the meeting, he pulls me to the side and says, "Look, Joe, you'll be like one of 1,000 people signed here. Why don't you see about me and I have a situation myself. Why don't you come talk to me and my partners?" I said, "Okay, fine." So I met with them. They had a company called Rhythm Method that managed the Jungle Brothers, the Tribe Called Quest, Latifah at the early Latifah, Red Alert, and Chuck D was he was a partner. It was Chuck and Hank and these two white guys. One was a lawyer, and I don't even remember what the other dude did, but he was rich as hell. And so they laid it down for me, and they was interested. And I said, "All right, I'll give you guys a shot."
Right.
So this was right before Nation of Millions came out, the second PE album, and Hank was at a meeting. They was at a listening meeting, I guess, and Columbia was all psyched. "Oh, this is going to be the greatest thing since Jesus. Are you working with anybody else that isn't signed to Def Jam?" He's like, "Well, as a matter of fact, I got a situation with Joeski." They're like, "The kid that made Pee Wee Herman?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, if you do it, we'll sign it."
Wow.
So I got signed just like that.
Wow.
Well, in the middle of the deal, after I'd already signed, Hank and Chuck and the other two partners started fighting. Basically the company split up.
Wow.
So what happened was Columbia decided we'll still deal with Joe and let them fight it out, but they wanted a named producer. They wanted somebody, who had already been successful. So they talked to everybody, Teddy and Marley Marl and all these other people. Then the lawyer guy that was a partner with Chuck and him, Ron Scholar, was Herbie Azar's lawyer. Herbie loved Salt and Pepper, Kid Play, blah, blah, blah. So he just happened to ask him, "Would you be interested in doing a Joeski Love album?" He was like, "Sure." We already knew each other because back in the days I was dating Sweet Tea. And Sweet Tea was signed to him. So we knew each other. He knew me as Toy's boyfriend. Toy goes to Joeski. So he was like, "All right, cool." So we did the deal. But I don't really think he was as interested in doing it as he could have been. He didn't put in the time that he did the Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, of course.
And that's how I felt anyway. And I was just doing it to save the deal. Like, let me just get this thing done.
Man.
I'd been signed to the label probably like 3 or 4 years before they actually put out anything.
Wow.
I was just like, let's get it done. So I probably rushed. I probably didn't put as much into it as I should have also.
One thing I did notice about your page, I do respect, you're Muslim now.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been
Alhamdulillah. 20 years now.
20 years. Wow, that's awesome, man. It's a beautiful thing. I read your page and I was like,
that's all I post on my page.
That's it, man.
I have conversations with curious Christians that might not have never known what Islam was, and after the conversation, they're like, "Oh, okay. I respect." Even if it's funny, my mother, I tried to hide it from my mother for a long time.
She must be Baptist, right?
Methodist. So I was like, I didn't want to say nothing.
Put your ties in, boy.
I remember the first time I told my mom I didn't want to eat no pork no more, man. She had it, what? She don't
But man, you grew up on it.
You know, he just that goes on.
Damn pork chops, you gonna eat this, boy.
Well, it was a pleasure having you here, man. We appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you
Giving
so
out
much.
once again, Joeski Love.
Yes, man.